வியூவர்ஸ், என்னோட வீடியோஸ் பிடிச்சிருந்தால் லைக் பண்ணுங்கள். இது வரைக்கும் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். ரைட் சைடில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்கள். நீங்கள் கொடுக்குற ஒவ்வொரு லைக்ஸும் நான் நிறைய வீடியோஸ் அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு மோட்டிவேட்டாக இருக்குது. ஸோ லைக், ஷேர், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் அண்ட் கமெண்ட் மை வீடியோ. ஹாய் வியூவர்ஸ், இன்றைக்கி நம்ம பார்க்க போகிற டாபிக் கிளாஸ் 7 டேர்ம் 2 யூனிட் 2 த முகல் எம்பையர். Let us start this session with the learning objectives: to trace the foundation and establishment of Mughal Empire in India, to acquaint, that is, to know ourselves with the career and achievements of 6 great Mughal kings, to understand the administrative and religious policies of the Mughal rulers, to gain knowledge about the cultural contributions of Mughals. Let us see the 6 great Mughal kings. Number 1, Babur. Number 2, Humayun. Number 3, Akbar. Number 4, Jahangir. Number 5, Shahjahan. Number 6, Aurangzeb. Mughal dynasty. Mughal also spelled Mughal, Persian. Muslim dynasty of Turk-Mongol origin that ruled most of the northern India from the early 16th to the mid-18th century. The name Mughal or Mughal is a corruption of the Persian word for Mongol, the Central Asian tribe after whom Mongolia is named. The Mughals originated in Central Asia and were descended, that is, came from the Mongol ruler Genghis Khan and Taimur, the great conqueror of Asia. Introduction. A new empire began in India with the arrival of the Mughal king Babur. Except for the brief reign, that is, rule of Sher of Shur dynasty, the Mughal rule lasted from 1526 to 1707 ACE. These were the years when the fame of the great Mughals of India spread all over Asia and Europe. After 6 great Mughal emperors, the empire began to disintegrate, that is, separate. பாபருடைய வருகையுடன் இந்தியாவில் ஒரு புதிய சகாப்தமும் ஒரு புதிய பேரரசும் தொடங்கியது. சுர் வம்சத்தைச் சார்ந்த ஷெர்ஷாவின் குறுகிய கால ஆட்சி தவிர்த்து முகலாயர் ஆட்சி நடைபெற்றது. Babur 1526 to 1530. Ancestry and his early career. Jagir-Uddin Muhammad Babur, was popularly known as Babar, was the founder of the Mughal Empire in India. The term Mughal can be traced to Babur's ancestors. Ancestors means Mudadayar. Babur was the great-grandson of Taimur on his father's side. On his mother's side, his grandfather was Yunus Khan of Tashkent, who was known as the Great Khan of the Mongols and the 13th in the direct line of descent of Genghis Khan. இந்தியாவில் முகலாய பேரரசை நிறுவியவர் ஜாகிருதீன் முகமது பாபர். தம் தந்தையார் வழியில் பாபர் தைமூரின் கொள்ளு பேரன் ஆவார். தாய் வழியில் அவருடைய தாத்தா தக்ஷ்கண்டை சேர்ந்த யுனஸ்கான் ஆவார். இவர் மாபெரும் மங்கோலிய அரசன் செங்கிஸ்கானின் 13வது தலைமுறை வாரிசு ஆவார் பாபர். Babur was born on 14th February 1483. He was named Jagir-Uddin Muhammad, that is, defender of faith. He inherited means Parambarai, Fargana, a small kingdom in Central Asia, when he was 12 years old. But he was soon driven out from there by Uzbeks. After 10 years of adversity, Babur established himself as the ruler of Kabul. பாபர் தமது 12வது வயதில் மத்திய ஆசியாவில் ஒரு சிறிய அரசான ஃபர்கானாவை பரம்பரை சொத்தாக பெற்றார். ஆனால் மிக விரைவிலேயே அங்கிருந்து உஸ்பெக்ஸுகளால் துரத்தி அடிக்கப்பட்டார். துயரம் நிறைந்த 10 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு பின்னர் பாபர் காபூலின் ஆட்சி பொறுப்பேற்றார். Foundation of the Mughal Empire. In Kabul, Babur set his sights eastward, reminded by the memory of Taimur's Indian invasion. In 1505, the very year after he took Kabul, Babur led his first expedition. Expedition means war, towards India. Yet he was preoccupied with the Central Asian affairs. He did not have any ambition beyond Punjab till 1524. But a greater opportunity came knocking. That is, Dilwar Khan, who was Daulat Khan Lodi's son, and Alam Khan, who was the uncle of Sultan of Delhi, arrived in Kabul to get help from Babur in removing Ibrahim Lodi from power. So Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the famous Battle of Panipat. Panipat is a place in Haryana in 1526 and occupied Delhi and Agra. Following Babur's victory in his battle, Mughal dynasty came to be established in India with Agra as its capital. Now let us see Babur's military conquest. பாபரின் இராணுவ ஆக்கிரமிப்புகள். How Babur captured the places. Babur defeated Ranasanga and his allies. Allies means ஆதரவாளர்கள் at Kanwa in 1527. He won the war against the chief of Chanderi in 1528 and prevailed over the Afghan chiefs of Bengal and Bihar in 1529. Babur died in 1530 before he could consolidate means join his victories. Babur was a scholar in Turkish and Persian languages. He recorded his impressions about Hindustan, its animals, plants and trees, flowers and fruits in his autobiography. Autobiography means Suyasaridai, called Tus-i-Baburi. Following the tradition set by Chengiz Khan, who nominated the most deserving among his sons as his heir. Heir means Varisu. Babur chose his favorite and eldest son Humayun as his heir. செங்கிஸ்கான் தம்முடைய மகன்களில் யார் தகுதி உடையவரோ அவரை தமது வாரிசாக அறிவித்திருந்தார். அம்மரபை பின்பற்றி பாபரும் தமக்கு பிடித்த தன் மூத்த மகன் ஹுமாயூனை தம் வாரிசாக அறிவித்தார். Humayun 1530 to 1540 and 1555 to 1556. Humayun on his accession means got to the throne, divided his inheritance. Inheritance means பரம்பரை சொத்து as per his father's will, and accordingly his brothers Kamran, Hindal and Askari got a province each. Yet each of the brothers aspired for the throne of Delhi. Even though they got the provinces, they wanted to capture the throne of Delhi. Humayun also had other rivals means competitors, and notable among them was the Afghan Sher Shah, the ruler of Bihar and Bengal. Sher Shah defeated Humayun at Sausa in 1539 and again at Kanauj in 1540. Humayun defeated and overthrown had to flee to Iran. With the help of the Persian ruler Shah Tahmasp of the Safavid dynasty, Humayun succeeded in recapturing Delhi in 1555, but he died in 1556 when he fell down the stairs of his library in Delhi. Sher Shah 1540 to 1545. That is, Sher Shah defeated Humayun at Kanauj in 1540. So he was ruling Delhi from 1540 to 1545. Sher Shah was the son of the Afghan noble Hasan Suri, ruler of Sasaram in Bihar. After overthrowing Humayun, Sher Shah started the rule of Sur dynasty at Agra. During his brief rule, he built an empire stretching from Bengal to the Indus, excluding Kashmir. He also introduced an efficient land revenue system. He built many roads and standardized coins, weights and measures. Akbar 1556 to 1605. Accession to throne. After the death of Humayun in 1556, his 14-year-old son Akbar was crowned the king. Humayun's trusted general Bairam Khan became the regent. Regent means someone who governs instead of king, and ruled on behalf of Akbar because Akbar was a minor. Himu, a general of Sur dynasty, soon captured Agra and Delhi in 1556. In the same year, Bairam Khan defeated and killed Himu in the battle at Panipat. So this was the second battle of Panipat. In 1556, Bairam Khan defeated Himu. As Bairam Khan was murdered in Gujarat, allegedly, that is reported at the instance of Akbar, who could not tolerate his dominance in day-to-day governance of the kingdom. Akbar assumed full control of the government. Akbar brought most of India under his control through conquest means capture, and alliances. பைராம் கானின் மேல் ஆதிக்கத்தை அக்பரால் சகித்துக் கொள்ள இயலவில்லை. அவருடைய தூண்டுதலின் காரணமாக பைராம் கான் குஜராத்தில் கொல்லப்பட்டார். இதனால் அக்பரால் அரசை முழுமையாக கட்டுப்படுத்த முடிந்தது. படையெடுப்பின் மூலமாகவும் நட்புறவின் மூலமாகவும் அக்பர் இந்தியாவின் பெரும் பகுதியை தமது கட்டுப்பாட்டின் கீழ் கொண்டு வந்தார். Conquest of women rulers. பெண் ஆட்சியாளர்கள் மீது படையெடுப்பு. அக்பர் conquered Malwa and parts of central India. His defeat of Rani Durgavati, a ruler in the central province, is not appreciated, since the brave Rani did him no harm. Hurt urged by his ambition to build an empire, Akbar had no consideration for the good nature of the ruler. Similarly, another woman ruler Akbar had to confront in South India was the famous Rani Chand Bibi, regent of Ahmednagar. The fight this woman put up impressed the Mughal army so much that they gave her favorable terms of peace. ராணியார் காட்டிய வலுவான எதிர்ப்பால் பெரிதும் வியந்து போன முகலாயப் படை அவ்வம்மையாருக்கு சாதகமாக அமைதி உடன்படிக்கை செய்து கொண்டது. Battle of Aldigat. Akbar defeated Rana Uday Singh of Mewa and captured the fort of Chittoor in 1568 and then Ranthambore in 1569. In 1576, he won over Uday Singh's son Rana Pratap at the Battle of Aldigat. Aldigat is a place near Rajasthan in western India. Though defeated, Rana Pratap escaped on his horse Chetak and continued his fight, leading a life in the jungle. The memory of his gallant Rajput is treasured in Rajputana, and many a legend has grown around him. Commercial access வாணிக தொடர்பு to Arabia, Southeast Asia and China. Akbar's conquest of Gujarat helped him to establish control over Gujarat overseas trade with the Arabs and the Europeans. Akbar's military campaigns in East Bengal and Odisha and victory over Bengal facilitated that is easy access to Southeast Asia and China. குஜராத் கடல் பகுதியில் வாணிகம் மேற்கொண்டிருந்த அரேபியரையும் ஐரோப்பியரையும் தமது கட்டுப்பாட்டின் கீழ் கொண்டு வந்தார் அக்பர். Akbar's military campaigns in the northwest 1585 to 1605 வடமேற்கு படையெடுப்புகள். Among other conquests of Akbar, the important were the campaigns he launched in the northwest of India. Akbar added Kandahar, Kashmir and Kabul to the Mughal Empire. His battles in the Deccan led to the annexation, that is capture of Berar, Khandesh and parts of Ahmednagar. Under Akbar, the Mughal Empire extended from Kashmir in the north to Godavari in the south and from Kandahar in the west to Bengal in the east. Akbar died in 1605 and his mortal remains were buried at Sikandra near Agra. Akbar's religious policy, Akbarin Kolgai. Akbar, realizing that the gains of affection would be more enduring than the gains of the sword, made all-out efforts to win the goodwill, நட்பெயர் of the Hindu nobles and the Hindu masses. வாள் வலிமையின் மூலம் பெறப்படும் ஆதாயங்களை காட்டிலும் அன்பின் மூலம் பெறப்படும் ஆதாயங்களின் ஆயுள் அதிகம் என்பதை அக்பர் உணர்ந்திருந்தார். எனவே இந்து பிரபுக்கள் மற்றும் இந்து மக்களின் நம்பிக்கையை பெற அனைத்து முயற்சிகளையும் மேற்கொண்டார். He abolished jizya, poll tax on non-Muslims and the tax on Hindu pilgrims. Hindu pilgrims, Hindu yatrigal. He also married a girl of a noble Rajput family. Later, he married off his son to a Rajput girl as well. He appointed Rajput nobles to important and top positions in his empire. Raja Mansingh of Jaipur was sent as a governor of Kabul once. Akbar treated all the religious groups fairly with generosity of spirit. அக்பர் அனைத்து மதங்களை சார்ந்தோரையும் சமமாகவும் பெருந்தன்மையோடும் நடத்தினார். The Sufi saint Salim Chishti and the Sikh Guru Ramdas received Akbar's utmost respect and regard. Guru Ramdas was gifted a plot of land in Amritsar near Delhi, where the Sikh shrine temple Harmandir Sahib was built. In Ibadkhana, a hall in the new Fatehpur Sikri city, constructed by Akbar, scholars of all religions met for a discourse. Akbar's contribution to culture. Akbarin பண்பாட்டு பங்களிப்பு. Akbar was a great patron in support of learning. His personal library had more than 4,000 manuscripts. He patronized scholars of all beliefs and all shades of opinions. He extended his benevolence to authors such as Abul Fazil, Abul Fazi and Abdur Rahim Khan Hai Khan, the great storyteller Birbal, competent officials like Raja Todarmal, Raja Bhagavan Das and Raja Mansingh. The great composer and musician Tansen and artist Daswant adorned Akbar's court. Next we will see about Jahangir 1605 to 1627. Akbar was succeeded by Prince Salim, his son, through a Rajput wife who was also named Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir, that is conqueror of the world. Jahangir was more interested in art and painting and gardens and flowers than in running the government. So Jahangir's wife, Meghrunisha, known as Nurjahan, was the real power behind the throne. Jahangir carried on to some extent his father's tradition. The tolerance of religions of Akbar's time continued in Jahangir's time. அக்பருக்கு பின்னர் அவருடைய ராஜபுத்திர மனைவிக்கு பிறந்த இளவரசர் ஜஹாங்கீர். தந்தையரின் மரபுகளை ஓரளவு ஜஹாங்கீர் பின்பற்றினார். அக்பர் காலத்து சமய சகிப்புத்தன்மை ஜஹாங்கீர் காலத்திலும் தொடர்ந்தது. But Jahangir ordered the execution of Sikh leader Guru Arjun for helping his rebellious son Khusro, who who contested for the throne. ஆனாலும் தமக்கு எதிராக அரியணையை கைப்பற்ற முயற்சி மேற்கொண்டு கலகம் விளைவித்த தமது மகன் குஷ்ரோவுக்கு உதவினார் என்பதற்காக சீக்கிய தலைவர் குரு அர்ஜுன் சிங்கை தூக்கிலிடும்படி ஜஹாங்கீர் உத்தரவிட்டார். This resulted in prolonged fight between Sikhs and the Mughals. As a result of this confrontation, the Mughals had to lose control over the trade routes to Afghanistan, Persia and Central Asia. The loss of Kandahar exposed India to invasions from the northwest. Ahmednagar, though conquered by Jahangir, remained a source of trouble throughout his rule. Jahangir granted trading rights to Portuguese and later to the English. Thomas Roe, as representative of King James I of England, visited Jahangir's court, and this agreement paved the way for the British establishing their first factory in Surat. ஜஹாங்கீர் போர்ச்சுகீசியருக்கும் பின்னர் ஆங்கிலேயருக்கும் வணிக உரிமைகளை வழங்கினார். அவரின் அனுமதி பெற்று முதல் வணிக மையத்தை சூரத்தில் நிறுவினார். Shahjahan 1627 to 1658. Prince Khurram, after a struggle for power, succeeded Jahangir as Shahjahan, the king of the world. Shahjahan ruled for 30 years. ஜஹாங்கீரை தொடர்ந்து இளவரசர் குராம் ஒரு அதிகார போராட்டத்திற்கு பின்னர் ஷாஜகான் என்ற பெயருடன் ஆட்சி பொறுப்பேற்றார். Shahjahan led a campaign against Ahmednagar and annexed, that is, captured it in 1632. Bijapur and Golconda were also conquered. Some Maratha warriors, notably Saji Bhonsle, Shivaji's father, entered the service of the Deccan kingdoms and trained bands of Maratha soldiers to fight against the Mughals. So there was a sustained resistance in the Deccan to the Mughals from the Marathas too. மராத்திய போர் தளபதிகள் குறிப்பாக சாஜி பான்சே போன்றோர் தக்கான அரசர்களிடம் பணியில் சேர்ந்தனர். இவர்கள் மராத்திய வீரர்களை கொண்ட அணிகளுக்கு பயிற்சி அளித்து முகலாயர்களுக்கு எதிராக போரிட செய்தனர். இதனால் தக்காணத்தில் மராத்தியர்களையும் சேர்த்து முகலாயர்களுக்கு எதிராக ஒரு நீண்ட நெடிய எதிர்ப்பு உருவாகியது. ஷாஜகான் was intolerant towards other religions than Islam. In his rule came the climax for Mughal splendor, which we will discuss in the next part of the lesson. Shahjahan fell ill in 1657 and a war of succession, that is வாரிசு உரிமை போர், broke out among his 4 sons. Aurangzeb emerged successful after killing his 3 brothers Dara, Suja and Murad. Shahjahan passed the last 8 years of his life as prisoner in the Shah Burj of the Agra fort. Now let us see about the last great Mughal ruler Aurangzeb 1658 to 1707. Aurangzeb, the last of the great Mughals, started his rule by imprisoning his old father. He assumed the title Alamgir, that is the conqueror of the world. He ruled for 48 years. He was no lover of art like his grandfather Jahangir and architecture, that is building work, like his father Shahjahan. Aurangzeb tolerated no religion except Islam. He reimposed the jizya tax on Hindus and excluded them from office as far as possible. தமது மதத்தை தவிர ஏனைய மதங்களை அவர் சகித்துக் கொள்ளவில்லை. Between 1658 and 1681, Aurangzeb remained in the north and suppressed the revolt of Bandalas, Jats, Satnamis and Sikhs. Aurangzeb's expansion in the northeast resulted in a war with Anoms of Kamuruba, Assam. The kingdom came under repeated attacks of the Mughals, but it could not be subdued totally. Relationship with Rajputs and Marathas. Aurangzeb's hostility towards Rajputs led to prolonged wars with them. To make matters worse, his rebellious son Prince Akbar joined the forces of Rajputs and created troubles to him. Prince Akbar entered into a pact with Shivaji's son Sambhuji in the Deccan, so Aurangzeb had to march to Deccan in 1689. அவுரங்கசீப் ராஜபுத்திரர்களின் மீது கொண்டிருந்த பகைமை அவர்களுடன் நெடுங்கால போருக்கு வழிவகுத்தது. நிலைமையை மேலும் மோசமாக்கும் வகையில் அவருடைய மகன் இளவரசர் அக்பர் அவருக்கு எதிராக கலகம் செய்ததோடு ராஜபுத்திரர்களுடன் சேர்ந்து கொண்டு இடையூறு விளைவித்தார். தக்காணத்தில் இளவரசர் அக்பர் சிவாஜியின் மகன் சாம்புஜியுடன் ஒப்பந்தம் ஒன்றை மேற்கொண்டார். In the Deccan, Aurangzeb brought Bijapur and Golconda into submission. Shivaji had carved out a kingdom proclaiming himself the emperor of Maratha state 1674. Aurangzeb could not stop the rise of Shivaji in the southwest, but he vanquished Shivaji's son and successor Sambhuji, who was captured and executed by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb remained in Deccan until his death in 1707 at the age of nearly 90. தக்காணத்தில் அவுரங்கசீப் பீஜாப்பூர் கோல்கொண்டா அரசுகளை பணிய வைத்தார். தமக்கென ஒரு நாட்டை உருவாக்கி கொண்ட சிவாஜி தம்மை மராத்திய நாட்டின் பேரரசராக அறிவித்தார். தென்மேற்கில் சிவாஜியின் எழுச்சியை அவுரங்கசீபால் தடுக்க இயலவில்லை. ஆனால் அவரால் சிவாஜியின் மைந்தரான பட்டத்து இளவரசர் சாம்புஜியை கைது செய்து சித்திரவதை செய்து கொல்ல முடிந்தது. By the end of Aurangzeb's rule, the British had firmly established their trade centers at Madras, Calcutta and Bombay. The French had their main trade center in Pondicherry. Now let us see about the Mughal administration. Mughalayar Nirvagam. Central administration. The Mughals provided a stable administration in larger parts of India. The emperor was the supreme head of the Mughal administrative system. He was the lawmaker, the chief executive, the commander-in-chief of the army, and the final dispenser of justice. He was assisted by a council of ministers. The most important officials were the Wakil, prime minister, and Wazir or Diwan, in charge of the revenue and expenditure. Mir Bakshi was in charge of the army. The Mir Saman looked after the royal household. The Qazi was the chief judge. Sada us Sudar was minister for enforcing Islamic law. Provincial administration. Magana Nirvagam. The empire was divided into several subas, provinces. Each suba was under the control of an officer called Subedar. The Shubas were further divided into districts called Sarkars. The Sarkars were subdivided into Parganas. A group of villages formed a Pargana. Local administration, Ullachi Nirvagam. The towns and cities were administered by Kotwals. Kotwals means police officer. Kotwals maintained law and order. The administration of villages was left in the hands of local village panchayats, informal institution of justice in villages. The panchayat das dispensed justice. பஞ்சாயத்து உறுப்பினர்கள் தீர்ப்புகளை வழங்கினர். Army. The Mughal army comprised infantry, soldiers walking on the foot, காலாட்படை, cavalry, குதிரைப்படை, war elephants, யானைப்படை, and artillery, fighting with the big guns, பீரங்கிப்படை. The emperor maintained a large number of trained and well-armed bodyguards and palace guards. The next topic is Mansabdari system. Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system. According to this system, the nobles, civil and military officials were combined to form one single service. Everyone in the service was given a Mansab, meaning a position or rank. A Mansabdar was the holder of such a rank. மன்சப்தாரி முறையின் கீழ் பிரபுக்கள், இராணுவ அதிகாரிகள், குடிமைப் பணி அதிகாரிகள் ஆகியோரின் பணிகள் ஒன்று சேர்க்கப்பட்டு ஒரே பணியாக மாற்றப்பட்டன. இப்பணியில் உள்ள ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் ஒரு மன்சப் படிநிலை அல்லது தகுதி வழங்கப்பட்டது. Mansabdar rank was dependent on Jat and Sawar. The former indicated one's status. Sawar was the number of horses and horsemen he had to maintain. His salary was fixed on the basis of the number of soldiers each Mansabdar received, ranging from 10 to 10,000. சாட் என்பது அவரது தகுதியை குறிப்பதாகும். சவார் என்பது ஒரு மன்சப்தார் பராமரிக்க வேண்டிய குதிரைகள், குதிரை வீரர்களின் எண்ணிக்கையை குறிப்பதாகும். The Mansabdar were paid high salary by the emperor. Before receiving the salary, a Mansabdar had to present his horsemen for inspection. Their horses were branded to prevent theft. The emperor could use the troops maintained by a Mansabdar whenever he wished. The rank of Mansabdar was not hereditary during Akbar's time. After him, it became hereditary. மன்சப்தார் தமது குதிரை வீரர்களை காட்சிப்படுத்த வேண்டும். திருட்டை தவிர்ப்பதற்காக குதிரைகளுக்கு முத்திரையிடும் முறை பின்பற்றப்பட்டது. அக்பருடைய ஆட்சி காலத்தில் மன்சப்தார் பதவி பரம்பரை உரிமை சார்ந்ததாக இல்லை. அவருக்கு பின்னர் அது பரம்பரை உரிமை சார்ந்த பணியானது. Land Revenue Administration, நில வருவாய் நிர்வாகம். Land Revenue Administration was toned up during the reign of Akbar. Raja Todarmal, revenue minister of Akbar, adopted and refined the system introduced by Sher Shah. Todarmal Jat system was put in place in the north and northwestern provinces. According to this system, after a survey, lands were classified according to the nature and fertility of the soil. The share of the state was fixed at 1/3 of the average produce for 10 years. During the reign of Shah Jahan, the Zabati system was extended to the Deccan provinces. 10 ஆண்டு காலத்திற்கு சராசரி விளைச்சலில் 1/3 அரசுக்கு வரியாக செலுத்தப்பட வேண்டுமென நிர்ணயம் செய்யப்பட்டது. The Mughal emperors enforced the old Ikta system, renaming it Jagidar. It is a land tenure system developed during the period of Delhi Sultanate. Under the system, the collection of a revenue of an area and the power of governing it were bestowed upon a military or civil official now named Jagirdar. Every Mansabdar was a Jagirdar if he was not paid in cash. The Jagirdar collected the revenue through its own officials. The Amal Guzar or the revenue collector of the district was assisted by subordinate officers like Potadar, the Kanungo, the Patwari and the Mukaddams. Those appointed to collect the revenue from the landholders were called Jamindars. Jamindars collected taxes and maintained law and order with the help of Mughal officials and soldiers. The local chieftains, that is leaders and little kings, were also called Jamindars. But at the end of the 16th century, the Jamindars were conferred hereditary rights over their Jamin. The Jamindar was empowered to maintain troops for the purpose of collecting revenue. The emperor granted lands to scholars, holy men, and religious institutions. These lands, called Suyurgal, were tax-free. Let us see the religious policy of Mughals. The Mughal emperors were the followers of Islam. Akbar was very liberal, that is free in his religious policy. In Akbar's court, the Portuguese missionaries were great favorites. Akbar tried to include the good principles in all religions and formulated them into one single faith called Din Ilahi, divine faith. Jahangir and Shahjahan also followed the policy of Akbar, but Aurangzeb rejected the liberal views. As we pointed out earlier, he reimposed the jizya and pilgrim tax on the Hindus. His intolerance towards other religions made him unpopular among the people. Art and architecture, Kalai, Kattadakalai. Babur introduced the Persian style of architecture to India by building many structures at Agra, Bina, Dholpur, Gwalior and Kew, Aligarh, but only a few of them exist today. Humayun's palace in Delhi, Din-i-Pana, was probably destroyed by Sher Shah, who built the Purana Killa in its place. The most prominent monument, Ninevichinnam, of Sher Shah's reign was his mausoleum, Kallarai Madam, built at Sasaram in Bihar. The Diwan-e-Khas, Diwan-e-Am, Panch Mahal, pyramidal structure in 5 stories, 5 அடுக்கு கட்டிடம். Rang Mahal, Salim Chisti's tomb and Buland Darwaza were built during Akbar's time. Jahangir completed Akbar's tomb at Sikandra and the beautiful building containing the tomb of Imad-ud-Dawla, father of Nur Jahan, at Agra. Shahjahan's time witnessed the climax of Mughal splendor. The famous peacock throne covered with expensive jewels was made for the emperor to sit on. Then rose the world famous Taj Mahal by the side of Jumuna river, Yamuna Nadikarai, at Agra. Besides Taj, he built the Moti Masjid, the Pearl Mosque at Agra, the great Jama Masjid of Delhi, and the Diwan-e-Khas and Diwan-e-Am in his palace in Delhi. During Aurangzeb's rule, architecture did not receive much patronage. The Bibi Ka Maqbara in Aurangabad, a mausoleum built by his son Prince Asham Shah as a loving tribute to his mother in the late 17th century, is however worth mentioning. Red Fort, also called Lal Quilla in Delhi, was a residence of the Mughal emperors, constructed in 1639 by Emperor Shah Jahan as the palace of his fortified capital Shahjahanabad. The Red Fort is named for its massive enclosing walls of red sandstone. Now let us see the summary. Babur founded the Mughal Empire in 1526 after defeating Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat 1526. Humayun's unsettled condition and Sher Shah's victory over him in the Battle of Kannauj. Sher Shah's efficient land revenue administration and the introduction of coin system and standardized weights and measures are dealt with this chapter. Humayun's retrieval of Mughal Empire and his untimely death leading to the accession of his son Akbar with Bairam Khan as the regent and defeating Himu, the great general of Shur dynasty in the Battle of Panipat 1556 are described. Akbar's military conquest as well as his religious policy are explained. Jahangir's disinterest in state governance leading to dominance of his wife Nur Jahan in the Mughal court is elaborated upon. Shah Jahan extending Mughal rule in Deccan and the resultant conflict with Marathas are analysed. Aurangzeb's conquest helped to expand the Mughal Empire, but his policies against Rajputs, Marathas and Sikhs provoked resistance from them, paving the way for its downfall. Mughal administration headed by the emperor, who in turn was assisted by various officials, is described. Akbar's Mansabdari system and the land revenue policy formulated by Raja Todarmal according to the Zabat system are examined. Mughals' contributions to culture, notably to art and architecture, are highlighted. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. It will be useful for your competitive exam.